Namaste and welcome to Photography with Gman, where we will work together to improve on your photography skills in camera as well as mobile. And today I'm going to give you some very important tips on composition that will definitely take your photography to the next level. And it is going to be useful for both camera as well as mobile photography. When talking about photography, almost everyone will tell you about the rule of third. Now, what is the rule of third? Rule of third is a compositional technique that divides your frame into 9 equal parts. You have 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines, creating 4 intersections. So with the rule of third, you'd ideally like to place your subject either on the right vertical line or the left vertical line or your upper horizon line or your lower horizon line, basically saying using the 4 intersections. So how do we make practical use of rule of thirds? Now you have 2 options. You can either place your subject camera right or camera left and combine it with either the upper horizon or the lower horizon. Now my son I want him to look left, camera left. So I position him camera right. Now he's looking camera left. I leave more space, camera left. But if my son is looking from camera left to camera right, now I would position him camera left with his head on the left top intersection and leave more space on the right. Now you might ask, what do I do if I want to position him in the center? Can I position him in the center? Of course you can. I do position a lot of portraits right in the center. And now this, of course, does not fall in the rule of thirds. And while I position him on the center, I would like to leave a reasonable amount of headroom, but not too much, like this. And I would leave almost an equal amount of space on the left and the right. The same goes for mobile. For example, look at this picture. Now this is a picture my son took of me using the mobile. Now I'm looking from right to left. Now as you can see, he's pretty much placed me in the center. What do? I crop this picture because I'm looking from left to right. Now I put myself in the vertical left and leave a little more space on the right, and my head is pretty much in the top right section. But in this other picture, he has still positioned me in the center, but I'm looking from right to left. I basically again crop the picture and position myself in the right top intersection. My body is in the right vertical line, and then I leave a little more space on the left side. Okay, when a subject is looking either left or right, it kind of gives you a more dreamy feeling, kind of like, thinking the person is thinking about something. But when the subject is looking directly into the camera, it's more like direct, it's more confrontational, it's more confronting the subject. And how do you use rule of thirds in case of landscapes? Now in landscapes, imagine you're just doing a pure landscape with no subject. You would like to place your horizon either at the bottom horizontal line or the upper horizontal line. I'll explain this to you with a particular picture that I took in Sarankote. Now this was taken during sunset. Sarankote is a beautiful place, just about 30 minutes drive from Pokhara. And this is the Annapurna range. Both sunrise and sunset from this place are just spectacular. Now, as you can see, I have placed the range, the horizon, the Himalayas at the lower horizontal line. And I've left almost 2/3 of the total space in the frame for the skyline, because the skyline is very dramatic, as you can see, because of the sunset. And I wanted to, use that dramatic clouds in my picture. Now another example. So now this particular picture was the time when I was camped out at about 4,200 meters on a trek from Jomsum to Tiluchu Lake. This picture was taken at about maybe midnight, right? So my camera was obviously on a tripod. And as you can see, the mountain horizon has been placed at the upper horizontal line because I have a lot of details that I want to show my audience at the lower 2/3. So the upper 1/3 has been left for the skyline with the stars, and I've dedicated 2/3 of the total frame to the mountain and the landscape below. I'm sure all of you are thinking, how do you use the rule of third in portrait? Well, let's have a quick look. So I took this picture for Kajal Naina in the studio with artificial lights, of course. Now what have I done? I've placed the model camera right. The eyes is pretty much placed on the top right section of the frame because the model is looking from camera right to camera left. Of course, KN is a jewelry brand. So I've placed the necklace, which is again the focus of the photo, at the lower right intersection. So this particular cute picture I took in Bhaktapur, which is only 45 minutes drive from Kathmandu, an amazing place to do street photography. So this beautiful little girl was just playing around, and well, what have we done with this? So she has been placed on the top right intersection. Okay, so her entire body is in the right vertical line. Her head is in the top right intersection. Why? Because she is looking from camera right to camera left, and I've got a lot of space on the camera left side. Now let's have a look at some adventure pictures as to how we can use rule of thirds in adventure as well. So this particular picture was a picture I took way back in 2012 with my friend Mandir in Mustang again. So I have two things of interest here, the mountain biker and the mountain, which is Dhaulagiri. I've placed the mountain biker in the top right intersection, and the mountain is in the upper horizon. So my key subject is of course the mountain biker, and that's why he's right in the front. And but at the same time, I also wanted to show the mountains, and that is why I sort of took that angle where I could place the mountains in the upper horizon. Now, can we use rule of thirds in day-to-day photography? Of course we can. So this next picture was taken in Hong Kong. That's my wife and my son. What have we done here? So my wife and my son is in the right vertical line. And why do we have so much space in camera left? Because I wanted to show Hong Kong. And the other thing you should notice, I did not want to crop the buildings. And the other thing you need to notice is the railing. At the bottom left, the next thing we're going to cover is the leading lines. So what is leading line? Leading line is basically using the corners of a frame to guide the audience into a specific point of interest, meaning your subject. So I think it would be better to explain this with the help of pictures, of course. This particular picture was taken in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I should thank my friends from Kuala Lumpur who found this beautiful spot on, it was a government apartment on the 9th floor. So we reached there right before sunset. As you can see, I have positioned the last railway tracks in the bottom right. And all of the other lights are basically guiding you towards the main subject, which is the Petronas Twin Tower, the mountains, of course my favorite. So I was trekking up to Thorongla Pass, which is at 5,400 meters. It was a very difficult trek, of course, but always fun. This picture must have been taken around 5,100, 200 meters. I've positioned the trail on the bottom right and basically leading you into the trekkers there. And I've also combined the rule of thirds where the horizon has been placed at the upper horizon, more towards the left. So sort of mixing both rule of thirds and leading lines. Taj Mahal needs little introduction. One of the 7 wonders of the world. I have basically combined 3 compositional rules here. Symmetry, rule of thirds, and of course leading lines. As you can see, if you were to split the picture right at the center, it's sort of a very symmetrical picture. Number 2, I've placed the base of the Taj Mahal at the lower horizontal line, giving my main subject, the Taj Mahal, 2/3 of the total space. And I have the green spaces on both the left and the right corner, leading the audience into my main subject again, of course, the Taj Mahal. Now, besides these rules of composition, the rule of thirds and the leading lines, symmetry, there are a lot of other rules as well. But the most important thing is your gut feeling, okay? When you look through the viewfinder, like, don't just go ballistic and, shoot 200 pictures. Try and think, wait it out, feel the environment, try and feel the picture, and then take a shot when your heart says wow, when your heart skips a beat, okay? That is when the best pictures are made. Pictures are never made by chance, And if you feel like the lighting, the composition is perfect, chances are that others are going to also like the same thing. So please remember to be very stingy on the shutter. In the beginning, it'll take a little bit of time for you to get used to all the rules and everything. And over a period of time, everything will just come very spontaneously to you. And within no time, you will start taking good pictures, of course. But remember, practice makes a man better, never perfect. because I've been taking photos for over a decade now and I'm still learning. So never stop learning, and most importantly, take a lot of pictures, but all in manual mode. If you feel you like my content, do like and subscribe to my channel, and if possible, leave a comment in the comment section. And until next time.